How to money manage like the rich. So you want to be financially free and you want to be wealthy. Well, something I've been very blessed with is being around multimillionaires, investors, bankers, those who have done just very well personally and financially and gone on to see great success. And one thing I've learned from every single one of them is the consistency in delayed gratification, really understanding that. Discipline, having the commitment to go through with the money management side of things. And what I'm going to do today in today's video is go through a step-by-step process of not only what the millionaires and multimillionaires do, but ultimately also what I do. And look, this doesn't matter whether you've got £20 in your bank account, whether you earn £100 a week or you earn 100 grand a year. It makes no odds because the principle is exactly the same and the outcome should be the same. If you want to be wealthy, look 5, 10, 15 years down the line. So let's start with this step-by-step process on what you need to do in order to money manage your finances. So the beginning is knowing where your money's going. Okay, so you need to track where your money's going. What you should be doing is maybe every 2-3 months reviewing what's coming in and what's going out. Do you have expenses that perhaps you're paying for Netflix, Amazon Prime, you've got Adobe, you've got DocuSign, Dropbox, Zoom. You've got all these outgoings, but perhaps you don't use 3 or 4 of them. Cut those back, reduce it, and then allocate that money to, to an investment or savings, something like that. So look at your numbers, what's going out and what's coming in. The next step after that is to reduce your spending. So are you buying coffees every single day that you don't need to? Because this all adds up over the week. And I did a video on my YouTube, which what I'll do is I'll pop it up here, where you can save £10,800 a year just by very small changes, saving those couple of pounds each and every week. So you need to start opening up multiple bank accounts. Why do I say that? Because the old school way is having your current account and your savings account. Everyone does that, right? Your parents say open up a savings account, put money into it from your weekly income or your monthly income and have a current account. That's great, that's where you should start, but I use up to 9 to 14 different bank accounts and they all serve their own purpose. And what I'm going to share with you now is some of the different purposes and the reasons why I have multiple bank accounts. And anyone that has done very well financially has multiple bank accounts. I know people that have 23 bank accounts and they all serve a purpose. So what we're going to need to look at here is what are the accounts used for? So I'm going to talk you through some of mine. We have a current account for the money coming in. Okay, that's where your lump sum drops into, whether it's you and your partner, for you and your family, or just yourself. What you're going to need then is you're going to need a savings account, an investment account, most importantly, an emergency fund. I'm going to get into what I use is called a maintenance fund. We'll get into that in a little bit. And then all these different other accounts. And everything needs to be automated. There is no reason why you should not have everything on a standing order and you should be paying yourself first. Once you've paid yourself first, what is left within that original drop current account where all that money goes into, what's left is yours to spend on fun money. But everything else should be going boom, 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 boom. Standing orders, automation is key to money managing. So automation, we've just covered that. Now what we need to go through is a priority payment system. So I have something where when my money comes in, the standing orders are set up and it goes in order of my priority payment. So I'm going to talk you through some of my accounts and what they do, and they're all with different banks. So I have that diversification, that spread of risk, because look what happened to Northern Rock, Cyprus and other places where these banks just collapsed. So number one is your living expenses. This is something that when you have your income come in, you should be allocating your living expenses. What do you need to go day by day? The second thing is I have an emergency fund where really you should be aiming, before you ever invest, to cover yourself for 3 to 6 months, if you can a year, but I know that that's quite hard for a lot of people to save up for an entire year. But 3 months you want to cover yourself. Before you ever invest, it needs to be a rainy day / emergency fund, because there is no point in investing if 2-3 months later a catastrophe happens and you need to go, rubbish, I need to withdraw my investment money back. So emergency fund. What I would say, just disclaimer, this is no financial advice, but always clear down debt first, because you can't really get traction until you've cleared your debt. The third thing would be a maintenance fund. So I have a maintenance fund that is set up part bank, part cash. Why do I have a maintenance fund? It's like my second reserve. So my emergency fund is for if we were to lose all income within my family, I have enough to live off. So if every bit of income stopped, every multiple way of earning income, how am I going to live? That's my emergency fund. I do not touch that unless that was to come to that situation. The maintenance fund is to allow me to keep living. So if both your cars break, or one of your cars breaks, or you need an MOT, or you need a new cooker, a new fridge, you don't want to be dipping into your emergency fund because that is for your living expenses. So I have a maintenance fund to cover white goods, house repairs, stuff like that. After that, I have my ISAs. So, you know, my stocks and shares account, my ISA account, my bulk savings account, and money drops into that. After that, I have my largest investment fund. So a portion of our money will go into our investment fund, which might be for property or lending to businesses or developers, where we can get a really competitive interest rate back and we can scale that pot, really compound it. After that, I then have sort of your work pension. So if you have a work pension or your private pension, however you have your end of life sort of pension set up, that should be the next thing that it should be going into. So another account for that. After that, I have an account for venture funds. So what is venture funds? That could be for, you want to start a little side business, a side hustle. You might want to buy a trailer and convert it into a coffee bar that might cash flow at the weekend, or food and drink events. Something like that, where you can kind of explore and really fulfill your entrepreneurship fire that you've got in your belly. Number 8, I have a pot for my education. So I have a little side money that drops into an account that I know that I can tap into to use for my own education, because I need to keep self-developing, I need to keep learning, and in order to do that, I need money to educate myself, whether that's through books, Audible membership, whatever it might be. Finally, after all these priority payments, I get down to my fun money. So this is where me and my family, we can go and do things. You know, if you have enough money and you've been wanting to buy something, then you can go and buy it with what's left. But it has to go through this priority payment system. Never ever will someone who's done financially well get a lump sum of money or their income and go, I'm going to buy the watch, I'm going to buy the car. They will pay themselves first, they will invest first, they will secure their family's future, and after that, then they will spend their fun money. So that is step by step. Just be really smart, because you need to be visioning 5, 10, 15 and 20 years down the line, no matter what age you are. I would rather be disciplined, committed, and have delayed gratification in my early 20s, so I can enjoy life in my mid-30s, 40s, retire early, rather than doing this whole, well, I've got to live my life, I've got to travel in my early 20s and do this, and you come back and you've got nothing. And then you work until you're, look at pensions and retirement age now, 70 plus. I don't want to be doing that. So I'm going to be disciplined now. I hope you've taken a lot from this. This is money management. Follow those steps. If you hop onto my website, www.aaronknightley.co.uk, scroll all the way to the bottom, you can see a compound chart and my money management Excel, which is free to download. And until the next video, hopefully you took a lot. Please hit like, do subscribe, and I will speak to all of you very soon.